In Maryland, one of the laws is if you don't have a will in place and you have children under the age of 18, if something, God forbid, happens to you, the state takes over and takes away all the property. The children are sent to foster care.
Hi all, it's my pleasure to introduce you to Samina Chowdhury, who is luxury real estate agent at Bob Lucido Team. Welcome, Samina.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Tanvir.
Absolutely. And one of the events that you're going to conduct on December 4th at Ryan Homes in Laurel. And I wanted to know more about that event. The topic of the event caught my attention so much because me being in the real estate industry for a number of years, these are the events that we don't often talk about. So I believe your seasonality shows that you're prepping a lot of audience ahead of time. So can you please tell us a little bit about the event?
So the event I'm calling two attorneys to come and speak to the community locally. One of the attorney is Laurel, and she's a estate and wills attorney. And the reason I wanted her to come and speak to especially my clients and my database, and of course your database also, is because in Maryland, one of the laws is if you don't have a will in place and you have children under the age of 18 and you also have properties you own, if something, God forbid, happens to you or your spouse, both of you together, the state takes over and takes away all the property and the children are sent to foster care. Unless they have a will in place which states who will be taking care of the children, who will manage the properties for them, all that need to be said in advance so that this does not happen to any family. And when I heard about that law, it can happen to anybody, actually, anybody, anytime. And our job is that, if we know about these rules, it is our responsibility to protect our clients and friends and family that we know.
That's such a great perspective. Sorry to interrupt, but one of the things is we often talk about probate, right? Yeah. And this is what it comes in play. And we often busy with our day-to-day life, achieving life goals, getting the houses, 1 or 2 or 3 houses, but we don't plan properly.
Yes, exactly. And when, especially people, when they're thinking about not only their primary home, but also getting into the investment part of it, owning multiple homes, they really need to have this will or estate plan in place. The other aspect of it is people getting into kind of like an accident, for example, Tanvir. If somebody gets into an accident, they go to the hospital, they get into a coma. I can tell you from my perspective, my husband's a physician, and I often hear him talking to the children because the children are having a very hard time to decide whether they should pull the plug or not with the parent. It becomes very difficult for them to make that decision. But if the parent themselves had that in their will, that this is what I want you to do, it makes it so much easier for the children to then decide what they need to do, because that's what the parent themselves wanted.
Thank you so much for explaining. I myself actually looking forward to this event. First thing is this estate planning. Everyone should know about it. It's not a certain community. It's so crucial for everybody how you plan around, and also having the right expert. I believe the attorney who will be joining, her name is Mariela D'Alessio.
Yes.
Can you tell a little bit about her?
Well, she's an estate and wills planning attorney. She's very good with, talking to the client one-on-one and getting to know what the clients have and really making estate or wills plan catered to their needs and their situation. Everybody is different. Everybody's family perspective is different. So she needs to do it according to what the family wants, basically. And she's great at doing that.
Fantastic, Samina. Looking forward to that. And the second component of this event is, I believe, IRS compliance on international PI, property inheritance.
Right.
Yeah. What is this topic?
Eli Knopf, he's an international attorney for tax laws. He knows tax laws and he deals with clients who are US citizen owning any kind of property outside of the US, whether it's inheritance or investment, whatever it is. He will come and talk to the crowd about what forms to use when you're filing your taxes, so the IRS knows about it. And also, if they're selling their inheritance property or gaining money back home from the inheritance property, if they have it rented, like, they have properties that is making money for them, they need to come and talk about what needs to be filed with the IRS in this
Wonderful.
case.
So pretty important topics. And as I said at the beginning of the video, we don't care about this much until we find ourselves in those shoes, right? So you are prepping the community. Thank you so much. And where will it be held on December 4th?
It is going to be at a community. It's a Ryan Homes brand new community. It's called Ryan Homes at Westside. The address of the property is 7108 Tranquility Road in Laurel, Maryland. It's in Howard County, and we will do it at the model home there.
Thank you so much for really thinking about helping the entire ecosystem. This is extremely crucial for, again, everyone. I'm so happy to join Samina here, who actually going to bring two important events. Not only encouraging you to attend these events, but it's actually crucial for you, how you managing your probate and how you also manage your international finances.
Right, and one more thing, Tanvir, is if people are not doing this, and for some reason, if IRS comes to know that you have some kind of property and you've not put in that FBAR form, people could be heavily taxed, and to the point that it could be $10,000 a month per property from the time they own it. So just do the calculation. You could be bankrupt by then, So it is very critical that people get to know this law.
Thank you. Thank you again, explaining thoroughly. Last question, is there any event, RSVP?
Yes.
Anyone
so
needs to...
they can RSVP in my email address, which is samina@boblucidoteam.com, or they can send me a text RSVP at 301-502-2944.
Fantastic.
Here's lunch, and we want to make sure that we have a good head count.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to the event.
Thank you, Tanvir, for having me in this video.
It's a pleasure.